Hello, and welcome back to another student project review by Group Librawan. In this video, we would like to discuss about our student project regarding the topic of rabies on children. To give better learning experience, we decided to divide this presentation into a couple of outlines, which the first one will be the introduction, followed by the main topic, and finally the suggestion and summary. Right after this, Geg Mas will give us more insight about why we choose this topic and other general information regarding our student project.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Geg Mas Anantalakshmi with the last 3 digit on name number 001. Today I will explain the background information of our student project. Rabies is a viral zoonotic disease that affects the nerve and brain of mammals, causing central nervous system sickness and death. It is spread to humans and animals via bites or scratches, most commonly via saliva transmission. More than 95% of rabies cases are reported in Africa and Asia, killing an estimated 59,000 people annually. The majority of rabies deaths globally occur in children aged 5 to 14. Rabies is invariably fatal as soon as symptoms appear. For decades, vaccine, pharmacology, and innovation have all been used to prevent rabies death. As a result, the disease is completely avoidable. Nonetheless, rabies continues to claim the life of countless people each year. In this paper, we will discuss the rabies virus and its effect on children.
Hello, my name is Devi Prastiti with last 3 digit number 028. And based on the background information stated, it can be concluded that the main problem is what is rabies and its effect on children. And from said problems, there are a few questions. First, what is rabies? Second, how can rabies affect the human body? Third, how to treat and prevent rabies? And lastly, how does rabies affect children? And based on that, there are the general objectives, which is to learn and understand better about rabies that occurs in humans, especially children. Also, the specific objectives to achieve are to describe rabies and its diagnosis, to understand the mechanism and effects of rabies, to understand how to treat and prevent rabies, and to understand what effect does rabies give on children. From that, the benefit we could gain is we could learn about rabies clinical science and can be used to learn more about the clinical knowledge required as medical professional. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Putu Isyundra last digit number 003, and I'll explain about the etiology of rabies. Rabies is a zoonotic disease caused by the rabies virus of genus Lyssavirus under the family of Rhabdoviridae. Cornelius Celsus, in the 1st century, he described a case of human rabies as hydrophobia, which means fear of water. Rabies is a deadly neurological disease, and because of that, it is a significant financial burden on both developed and developing countries due to the cost of diagnosing, treating, monitoring, and immunizing animals. Next, I'll explain about the rabies virus. It has a rod or bullet shape, 75 nanometer in diameter, 100 until 300 nanometer in length. It's surrounded by a lipid protein membrane, and it has chemical compositions such as RNA, protein, lipid, and carbohydrate. And the natural infections are most commonly due to bites. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Karin with my last digit number is 016, and I will explain about epidemiology of rabies. So according to WHO, rabies causes 59,000 human deaths from rabies each year in more than 150 countries. About 99% of human rabies is caused by dog bites. In Indonesia, based on data, as many as 86 people died from rabies. The first case in Bali occurred in the Semenanjung Bukit, Banu Regency in November 2008. In 2010, there was an increase of 70.3% spread over 74 villages. However, the number of victims who died fell drastically in 2013, with only one case reported in Buyan village, Sungkasada subdistrict in Buleleng. Rabies cases increased again in 2014, and as of July 2015, 17 rabies cases were recorded in 30 villages and 10 subdistricts. There were 274,792 cases of dog bites from May 2008 to July 2015, with an average of 34,349 cases per year. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Krishna Arsawardani Putri with last 3 digit number 027, and I will explain about the pathophysiology and pathogenesis of rabies. Rabies virus transmission occurs through contact of broken skin or mucous membrane to the saliva of infected animals. Rabies virus infects peripheral nerves at the neuromuscular junction. Upon entering neuron, the virus is contained in endosomal transport vesicle and travels retrogradely along axons via microtubules toward the central nervous system. In the neuron cell body, ribonucleoprotein, nucleoprotein, and phosphoprotein are released from the vesicles, leading to primary transcription and viral protein production. Accumulation of viral protein causes inclusion bodies to be formed in cytoplasm, which are the site for viral RNA synthesis. The new ribonucleoproteins produced in these inclusion bodies are then transported to postsynaptic membrane, where the new variants are assembled and transported to the neighboring neuron. This process will repeat until the virus eventually reaches the brain. Patients will later experience anxiety, agitation, delirium, hypersalivation, and hydrophobia. The virus eventually results in complete failure of central nervous system, which causes death.
My name is Khadra Karin Kamila with the last 3 digits number 009. I would like to explain about histopathological examination of rabies. So, histopathology is one of the most common methods for testing the diagnosis of rabies in humans and animals. It works by finding the positive pathogenomonic Negri bodies in brain nerve cells. The presence of several things that also can be detected as a positive sign of rabies inflammation in brain tissue, including lymphatic foci, mononuclear infiltration, Babe's nodules consisting of glial cells, and perivascular cuffing of lymphocytes. The staining technique in these methods that is often encountered is using eosin and hematoxylin with the aim of simplifying the virus analysis process, which will later be identified under the microscope. That's all from me, thank you.
Hello, my name is Lanang Agung Librawan with 3 last digit of name is 029. I want to explain about evaluation diagnosis in rabies. Until now, there are several diagnostic methods that have been evaluated so that these methods are more sophisticated than other conventional methods. The first is real-time PCR. RT-PCR using SYBR green chemistry has been evaluated for antemortem rabies diagnosis through human saliva samples. The second is direct rapid immunohistochemical test that is based on detecting rabies protein N in brain smear. This can be used as an alternative to the direct fluorescence antibody test to enhance decentralized laboratory-based surveillance. The last but not least is the enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay, or we can say it ELISA. This method can be used to alternative rapid fluorescent Fauci inhibition test. There is a new ELISA method that more effective, which is use electrochemiluminescence. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Adjani Sayidina Pakpahan with the last 3 digits of student number 031. I would like to explain a little bit about the differential diagnosis of rabies. So rabies differential diagnosis aims to eliminate disorders with similar symptoms from the diagnosis. The diagnosis of rabies cannot be determined only based on clinical signs and symptoms, as different viral and non-infectious reasons can occur. The geographic context can be quite useful when evaluating a patient with rabies-like symptoms. It is also crucial to figure out if the patient has come into contact with a potentially contaminated animal, and if so, what kind. The differential diagnosis conditions of rabies are psychosis, seizures, belladonna alkaloids poisoning, stroke, brain tumor, tetanus, encephalitis, Jacob-Creutzfeldt disease, botulism, Guillain-Barré syndrome, herpes simplex encephalitis, and poliomyelitis. During differential diagnosis, the essential viruses to rule out are herpes simplex virus type 1 and varicella zoster virus. That is all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for the time. My name is Gede Saputra with last 3 digit number of name 018. And in this occasion, I would like to tell you guys about the complications of rabies. So if not treated carefully, rabies might derive a series of complications. These complications are varied greatly based on its sites of infection and many other factors. The common complication of rabies include seizures, fasciculations, psychosis, aphasia, autonomic instability, paralysis, coma, and the worst case, death. Most of these complications, as we can see, revolve around autonomic nerve dysfunction because rabies virus mainly cause inflammation on the central nervous system. The table shown on the slide shows several studies on the varied progression of rabies, and as we can see, rabies can develop into rabies encephalitis, immune thrombocytopenia, infectious complications due to bite injury ranging from cellulitis to septic shock, Behçet's disease, and subacute thyroiditis.
Thank you for the time. My name is Nyoman Sujana with the last 3 digits of number 011. Next slide, please. PEP is immediate treatment of the victim that is being bitten after rabies exposure, so the first time is extensive wound washing. This first aid includes immediate and thorough flushing and washing the wound for a minimum of 15 minutes with substances that remove and kill the virus. And then, indications of PEP. Depending on the severity of contact with an animal with suspected rabies, the administration of PEP is recommended, as you can see in the table on the right. Okay, last but not least, bite management. If possible, biting animals are identified and quarantined for observations or submitted to quick laboratory. PEP should be continued during the 10-day observations period or pending laboratory results. Treatment can be discontinued if the animal is proven to be free of rabies. If the suspected animal cannot be caught and tested, the PEP must be completed. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
First, let me introduce myself. My name is Danissa Dita with the last digit number 005, and today I will present about rabies prevention. So rabies is a zoonotic disease that can be prevented by vaccine. Therefore, it is necessary to get rabies vaccine as a way to prevent the fatality caused by rabies. Rabies vaccine can be injected either post-exposure or pre-exposure. Pre-exposure usually used when the person is at high risk of getting exposure, while post-exposure are to be given after a person potentially exposed to the virus. Pre-exposure are to be given 3 times, and HDCV or PCECV type are the one that usually being used for pre-exposure. Those for pre-exposure are 1 ml and injected either intramuscular or intradermal. Post-exposure are to be given 4 times, and RIG and CCV are the one that usually being used for post-exposure. Those for RIG are based on the body weight. There are no contraindications for rabies vaccine either in infants or children. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Putu Bintang Kirana with 3 last digit of new number are 033. I will explain about rabies in children. So there are differences between children and adult characteristics. Children have thinner skin than adult. It means their skin is relatively weaker than adult. Therefore, they are more prone to bite the mates and can get rabies easily. Also, children are the most common victims of dog bites. Next, children are close to the rabies vectors. Playing with the vectors such as dogs is also a risk factor for rabies. Children can be at risk because of their love for dogs. Preschool and primary school children are the most at risk for the disease because of their ignorance toward the danger of dog bites. They also could accidentally provoke the dogs by throwing stones at them. Also, outdoor games that they play sometimes far enough to meet stray dogs. The next part will be explained by my friend. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Marvella and my last 3-digit number is 007. I'm going to conclude all of the explanations before and give suggestions in this student project. First, rabies is one of the deadliest zoonotic neurological diseases caused by the rabies virus. Then, rabies mainly infects nerve cells. Third, rabies can be treated by PEP immediately after the victim is being bitten and can be prevented by vaccines. Last, children are more prone to bite the itch because they are weaker and have thinner skin than adults. It is highly suggested that medical students need to understand the importance of awareness toward rabies because it can cause many problems in children, so that in the future clinicians can treat and prevent rabies disease. That's all from me. Thank you.